G'day and welcome to Catch the Spur. I'll start by saying I'm not sure whether grind it till you find it or from strength to strength is more fitting for this review, but you can decide. It was good to be back on a Sunday evening at 9 o'clock at a very reasonable time for Australian viewership and a very early fixture if you're local to the UK. But it worked great for me. This was after a very promising result midweek in the Cup. So let's get straight into it. Once again, we started a very predictable lineup. Copping goal, Nilden, Hunt, Koga and Ribrink across the back, with our only natural right back returning to the bench. Summanen and Spence in defensive midfield, with England in front of them. And a very fluid Naz, Tinker and Holt up top. Once again, I was amazed at how well we had Naz and Holt dropping in to make space with dragging their defenders and allowing Beth England to get ahead of them and into those pockets. How well that worked, and that style of play that Martin Ho is trying to breed into us. And once again, on defence, having more of a 4-4-2 setup with England and Tinker sitting in there, closing off those short options, with Naz and Holt sitting in behind a little bit more central to cut off the passing lanes, forcing them to play wide, playing back to the centre backs or the left and right back, and then pressing as a team to force them into an error. This is something I've gone on about every week, so I'm going to probably have to stop bringing it up soon, just as it's the type of football we're going to expect under Martin Ho. Something I haven't mentioned before yet, though, is how our left and right backs sit a little bit ahead and central of their direct player, the wingers. Just like Nilden's doing here, you can see just off in the corner here that her attacking player is right in the corner. This is probably over-exaggeration at this point because we've just lost the ball in a bad area. But if you pay close attention, we do this quite frequently, where we do sit a little bit more central and higher, and when that ball comes through, it's more of the centre-back's job to run back and pick that player up, and I'll show a better example of it a little bit later. This is something that's highly effective, but it will cost us some goals this year. It's not so bad playing it against a team like this, but playing it against other top four sides like we did against City, it's really going to cost us some goals, but it is worth going out there playing this attacking style of football to, better our team and progress up the ladder. But this is the example I was talking about. This is the 40th minute mark, and you can see that Ribrink up here is sitting higher and a bit more central where she usually would. Because the ball's on this side of the field and she's facing this way, you'd expect her to be a bit more central, but definitely she's higher up than I would usually play a back four. But Nilden is definitely in the same sort of position, kind of tucking in, trying to sort of mark two players, but she's definitely what I think's out of position as a usual setup, but here under Martin Ho's system, she's definitely higher and more central of where I'd usually have her. But this is what it comes down to. We're pressuring them to play quick and force a mistake, and when it works, it really works, and we can press on a counter-attack. Something that Jess Naz really is effective at, and we've got to play to her style. We've got to get that ball over the top and get her to run onto it. And now we're going to try something a bit different. We're going to go through player by player, whoever came on and who went off, and just summarise the performance they gave. So we'll start at the back. Cop. Very strong again at the back. She looked very composed with the half a dozen shots that she had almost directly at her, but she didn't fumble them, especially those ones that you're diving onto in front of you. They're hard to hold onto, so she was really good at holding onto them today, which was great to see. She was also a very dominant force in our defensive box on corners. It was good to see her be loud and demand her presence and get her hand to the ball whenever she was near it. Didn't see, not that I can remember anyways, any times that she went at it and it went over her head. That's the worst thing you can do from a corner as a keeper, but she seemed very strong today. And lastly, she was excellent with both feet. Yes, there was one time where Koga played her the ball to the opposite foot of which she wanted, that put her under a bit of pressure, but even then, she still just kicked that ball out, kicked it away, didn't really put her under a whole lot of pressure, but she was great getting that ball out from the back, and I do love that we are trying to play football out from the back using our goalkeeper and really playing that ball around, especially the way we actually set up for goal kicks. I really like that we've got 3 players along the box and we can use the whole field. That leads into Koga. She was very confident with her ball playing out of the back, especially when Neville came on. She definitely used her left foot a lot more when she was cutting in, pretending that she was going to cut across to the left-hand side of the field, and then she'd just cut it down the line to Neville, which gave her a bit more time on the ball. She was just excellent with the ball at her feet today. So 2 massive notables. This awesome switch by Koga was definitely a key moment of the match, and she really opens up the field with that, so let's hope that she continues with those sort of balls. The next moment that's notable came from the 54th minute mark, where Koga, from a free kick just outside of our centre circle, got into the box and was really composed, brought the ball down and pressured one of their defenders into making a clearance. It went straight to Jess Naz, which forced a shot. It's very positive to see Koga getting up in the attacking half, and I hope to see more of it, especially because she is good in the air, maybe not Tinker or Hunt level, but she is dangerous, so on those corners, I want to see more of it. But speaking of aerial presence, Claire Hunt was excellent today, especially winning balls in the air in our defensive half. She won at least 3 or 4 I can think of off the top of my head in our own box, but I'd love to see her do that off corners, off free kicks in the attacking area. So let's hope to see more of that. She did make a really good claim towards the Man of the Match award today, but I'll explain later why she didn't get it and who I thought was more deserving. She was excellent, and don't get me wrong, I love the way she's been playing in this backline that Martin Ho's set up, especially the way they play it. However, I do believe that they need someone with elite pace in that position so that when the wing backs are pushing up, they can get back to that ball that goes over the top. Another fair performance from Amanda Nilden today. A few good interceptions, some good overlapping runs, but ultimately when she made those overlapping runs and had the ball at the edge of the box, I didn't expect anything dangerous. So I would like to see them give Charlie a go there, just because I think she's going to offer more going forward, although Nilden's a really good defensive option. And once again, a very tough role for Ribrink today. It was good to see Neville on the bench, as that is our natural right back, but she did a really good job in a position that's hard to fill when you usually play left back. Moving to right back does sound pretty simple, but it is about those split second decisions, and with always playing on one side, switching to the other side does slow that decision making down, which is where the small numbers are gained. But speaking of Neville, at the 64th minute mark, she was brought on as a sub, and she really looked dominant and she was really eager to press the ball. So it was good to see her back, and you can just tell that she was firing all cylinders and wants that spot back immediately. It was really good performance. Now let's move into the midfield. Drew Spence. I thought she was a little off the pace today. She made some lazy or optimistic challenges that she was never really going to win. That did lead to her getting a yellow card and subbed off early, but it just wasn't her game. Hopefully she'll be back next week. She's usually really composed and really smart. Just wasn't one of those weeks. Coming on for Spence was Olga Artanen at halftime. She did offer her usual voice and directional management of the midfield, but it did look like she was getting a bit frustrated at times, whether that's we weren't winning the ball enough or she was giving the ball away, which happens infrequently, but it was one of those days. I don't think Drew or Olga had the best game, but they played reasonably okay. Jess Naz, once again, in my opinion, off the pace a little bit. I was keen to see her rise above the disgraceful comments off field this week, but she did look lethargic. Just like here where she gets beaten, she doesn't get to her feet, she doesn't press the man back, she's walking to position. I thought it was a little bit upsetting. I really do hope to see Jess Naz back at her best soon, and we've really got to start playing those balls over the top because, as I said earlier, that's where she's most effective. She's okay at beating the man, but she's got to make more effort. Another one of the 64th minute subs, Kit Graham, Didn't get a lot of minutes, but it was really good to see how hard she was working, and it looks like her legs are back at full strength because she was really busting her gut to press and make options and make space for her teammates. So let's see more of that, and hopefully she can get more minutes. In the 79th minute, we saw Martha Thomas come on, who I'm incredibly proud of. It's very hard being in a club and someone comes in and takes his spot, but she was working incredibly hard in a new position to win that ball back and really stamp her foot on why she deserves to be in this team. It's pretty clear that Martin Ho likes Tinker up top. I do as well, which means that there's only one position for her, and that means when Thomas needs some minutes, she's going to be playing out wide. And it was great to see her really working her butt off to win us the ball and really stamp down why she deserves a spot in the team. She was incredible at United. She's had a lot of really good years with us. Let's get something more out of her. You've seen a lot of great footballers before move position and take it to another level. Why can't Martha? Once again, as always, Beth England with a very captaincy performance. Her and Tinker leading the line defensively and really pushing up into those pockets of space made by the wingers when they were dropping was excellent. She's always great, so what more can you really say? It's hard when you see her play so well every week to not give her man of the match, but it's just what you expect from Beth England, which is a very positive sign, and she is an absolute mainstay of our team, and we need her every week. Coming on at the 57th minute mark was Dennis, which I think personally was too late. She definitely brought intensity in the press and looked more dangerous than Naz did, and as well eager to work. Work hard. I've been really impressed with her this year. I didn't think she was going to get this many minutes, but she's proven me wrong, and I hope she keeps doing it. Now, I know I have been jumping around a little bit, but there is a reason. This is my top 3 players of today. Third, I think, is Tinker. Tinker was really dominant in our attacking box and always pressures really hard and uses her strength, something I think we have been missing over the last few years. At least twice, she got an aerial ball that didn't have a lot of juice on it, and she still got everything behind her body onto it to give it a bit of force and really trouble the goalkeeper. Not only this, but she was winning aerial challenges in our defensive box, and I know it's something that all strikers do nowadays, but it's so positive to see, and I love how she works. She may not always be clean, but she's definitely dominant, and she definitely is scary to a lot of defenders. And that's even without mentioning her incredibly bad second touch, but an excellent third touch to get a goal. So great recovery. I love to see it. Now, this is where it gets incredibly tough. Second is Summanen, with arguably the best assist you'll see all year. A straight ball, perfectly weighted to Holt, which gave us our second goal. If you haven't seen it, go watch it back and watch it back and watch it back, because it's that good. Putting a ball dead straight, not diagonal ball, to a player running towards the keeper in the box has to be pinpoint perfect, and it was. It was incredibly hard not to give her man of the match, but she was so excellent today. Not only this, but she's such a smart and deviant footballer. She always knows when to foul and how far to push the ref and opponents. A very strong candidate for man of the match. And lastly, our man of the match, Holt. You may think this is because she had a level head to finish the second goal or have that great run. No. You may think it's because she is a good ball deliverer. No. It is going to be arguably our best take-ons and personal run that definitely should have finished with a goal. In the 14th minute, she created what should have been an outstanding goal with a very personal run straight down the guts. If you haven't seen it, do what I'd suggested with the Summonen one. Watch it, watch it, watch it. It's such a good run, and I'll be amazed if anyone beats it this year. So where does that leave us? I can tell you. Fourth. Fourth after 4 fixtures. A very promising sign, but just remember we have only played West Ham, Everton, City and Leicester. Only one of the big 4. Now we do have Chelsea coming up in a fortnight's time, which will be a tough fixture. I still believe that Manchester City look like the most promising team to win the league this year. And then in another 4 weeks after that, we'll be playing Arsenal. So those 2 fixtures will be really pinpoint into how we're going this year. If you look at the table, and I'm always a big believer of goal difference. So at the moment, we're 6th, which is where I think we are. But we've still got a lot of really tough fixtures ahead. So we'll see how we pan out. Anyways, in conclusion, a really strong week. We didn't play our best football, but it's good to see that our team is growing stronger and more physical. It's something we have been missing, and we can grind out a result. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought, or jump in the subreddit of SpursWomen. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And with all that being said, I'm going to leave you with this image of the Queen looking down on me doing my editing. Enjoy.